Welcome to the YouTube channel. Today we're talking about what you need to know about buying a house in Boise, Idaho, especially with a market that is so lucrative right now and potentially going to become more and more competitive as interest rates continue to cut. With that being said, if this is your first time purchasing a home or if you're already well versed as far as home buying goes, make sure you guys watch this video because this is going to pertain to the Boise market and surrounding areas specifically. So stay tuned, let's dive into the content. All right guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I am Naseem Eissa. I am a relocation specialist here in the Boise, Idaho and surrounding areas. Not only are we working with people that are relocating for work or just living situations, we also specialize in helping military buyers as well. So if you're any of those people, which more than likely you're probably relocating to Boise, or if you already live here, then you know how much Boise has to offer and how important it is to make sure that you purchase a home in the right place, which we're going to talk about today. So with that being said, guys, real quick, you're going to see my cell phone number as well as my email pop up on the screen. Make sure you guys feel free to reach out to me at any time, whether it's call, text message, or email. Preferably give me a call. I'd love to speak to you guys on the phone and make sure that I get a good idea of what you guys are looking for and we could put together a game plan as far as getting that going. Now, with that being said, we're going to be talking about some updated information as far as the Boise market, where it's currently at as of today, which is August 6th of 2024. But this is going to pertain to people that aren't just purchasing now, but later on in the future as well. So regardless of what we discuss, it's going to be good just to know and have in your back pocket. Now, as of recently, this is just good information for those of you that are looking at buying a house. There was a huge price cut, which actually put us at a new 52-week low as far as interest rates go, with a national average of 6.4%. Now, if you're going FHA, VA, you're probably going to see a rate which we just locked someone in at a 5.668% with no point buy downs. What does that mean? That means without purchasing a temporary rate buy down or a permanent rate buy down, they were able to lock in at a 5% interest rate. Like I said, it just kind of depends on the loans and what you qualify for. So I highly recommend to get pre-approved and get an idea of where you currently meet or what type of loan criteria you meet, so you can make sure that you know what to expect when you do begin the house buying process. Now, with that being said, let's talk about Boise, right? Now, when we're talking about Boise, Idaho is a pretty big city, and not only is it a big city, it also is the most populated city in the entire state of Idaho. We're looking at a population of over 200,000 people, and just so you guys know, with over 200,000 people, currently as of today, we only have 776 homes on the market in the Boise city. Now, if you do expand it out to the Ada County area, which most people may not live in Boise, right? Sometimes they may live in the bordering cities of either Meridian, which is the second most populated city, my personal favorite, and then also you have Eagle, which is a smaller city. I think they're sitting at about 36,000 in population right now. Could have grown significantly. Star, Idaho is an amazing city. Nampa is a good city, and then Caldwell is also a good city. Now, it just kind of depends on what you're looking for, but Boise specifically is just such a big area. So many people are relocating this way, and due to interest rate cuts, we may see a more competitive market. We're going to talk about a little bit as far as the data. So for those of you that really love numbers, this is going to be super crucial for those of you. So with 776 active listings on the market, we're looking at a 51-day average on market. What that means is if they didn't price it aggressively, or if they just priced it at market value, you're expected anywhere between a month and a half to 2 months of sitting on the market before you get some traction. Otherwise, unless it's in a very well-known area in one of the most popular neighborhoods, which we'll talk about some of those neighborhoods in this video as well. Now, currently the median price point in Boise, Idaho is actually $549,900 for active listings. Now, I will say in some of our previous videos, overall the median price point was actually around $600,000. However, it looks like our prices are dropping a little bit, and it may be because of motivation due to the sellers wanting to sell their home faster, or it just may be because interest rates cut and now we're starting to move a lot of properties much quicker. Now, what kind of homes can you expect in Boise? Well, Boise has everything from manufactured homes to beautiful luxury homes overlooking the entire city. Personally, I really love Harris North Ranch, which actually literally overlooks the entire city. You're on these luxury home plot of lands where you just can see absolutely everything, and it's just a beautiful drive up the mountain. It's not as far of a drive as you think. It's probably about 10-15 minutes from downtown itself, but with that being said, you can just overlook the city at night. You can overlook the sunset and sunrise. It's just absolutely stunning, which we'll make sure to show you guys some videos of that neighborhood. Probably one of my favorite neighborhoods in Boise outside of the foothills. Now, speaking of homes, guys, right now with it sitting on market for about 51 days, what that means for you as a buyer is absolutely great news, right? We do see some homes that are listed aggressively having multiple offers. However, most of the homes right now, since they are sitting, are not competing offers, right? That means you're able to get seller's concessions concessions, potentially have closing costs get covered. You're potentially able to, have inspection and not have to sign for an appraisal gap or a pump clause, depending on if your property or if you're contingent on the sale of your home somewhere else. All these different factors are super important when negotiating for your home, which we can always dive into that. Now, for those of you that haven't purchased a home just yet, what we're gonna do is at the very end of the video, we're gonna go through the multiple steps as far as purchasing a home. But real quick, something I wanna mention, if you haven't heard already, there's currently a National Association of Realtors settlement going on. I believe it's going to be beginning August 15th. We'll make sure to get a solid date on that. Buyers are no longer able to show anyone properties unless they have a signed buyer representation agreement covering the fact as far as compensation, commission, and things of that nature. So what does that mean for you as a buyer? Well, that means as a buyer's agent, we now have to negotiate for our commission with the sellers. Now, in the scenario that the seller isn't willing to cover our commission, whatever that real estate agent's fee is, they would have to discuss with you as their representative to make sure that you guys are good as far as covering that fee when purchasing a home. So make sure you guys are signing your agreements. If you're not signing agreements, you're actually violating the law because of the settlement. So that is very, very crucial. And if their agent isn't doing that, well, you're probably not working with someone that's very ethical. So with that being said, guys, buying a home in Boise. Now, what areas should be looking at, right? Some of the most important areas to look at for you and your families, or maybe just you as an individual, is going to be preference, right? Because here's the thing, when you're purchasing a home, you have to remember it is all about the area. The area will never change where you buy your home, but you can always fix the home up, right? Maybe the kitchen doesn't live up to what you're looking for, or maybe the types of light fixtures in the home need to be replaced, right? Those are all things that can change in the future. However, the area you cannot change. So it is so important to make sure that you pick the area that best resonates with where you would like to live. For many of those who are curious about what some of the homes look like, we're actually gonna go ahead and show you guys exactly what some of the homes look like here in the Boise area. So let's go ahead and run the tape. So guys, like I said, you have some absolutely stunning homes in the Boise area. Now, as far as what areas you should be looking at, that does come back to preference, right? Do you want to live somewhere where it's more luxurious? Do you want to live in a more family-oriented neighborhood next to schools and parks and things of that nature? What makes the most sense for you? Now, me personally, like I said, I'm kind of biased because I really love the Harris Ranch properties. I also really love the foothills. They're just absolutely stunning luxury properties that overlook the entire city. However, you also do have Quail Ridge, which is another beautiful luxury neighborhood. Then you have Southeast Boise, which is filled with new construction homes, or you have the Boise Bench, which is older homes overlooking the city as well, close to BSU, close to everything as far as the mall, and just all these different areas, right? So like I said, it comes down to the location aspect and the price point average, right? What you're willing to spend on the home, right? If you have a certain budget in mind, maybe certain neighborhoods are maybe you got to cross certain neighborhoods off the list. But regardless, the most important thing that you can do is give me a call, right? And once again, what I'll do is I'm going to have my phone number pop up once again, so you guys can either call, text, or even email me so that we can set up a consultation to find out your current situation as far as what buying a home in Boise may look like for you, or if even Boise isn't the right city, then what area should you move to or would be the best fit for you and your current situation. So with that being said, guys, what does the home buying process look like in the city of Boise, in the state of Idaho? Well, first off, you're going to have to get pre-approved, right? Now, this is pretty common across the nation. First step is getting pre-approved. Second step is going to be finding a great real estate agent, which you can check that off because you already found me. The next step is going to be figuring out where you want to shop, right? Figuring out what area is perfect for you, what price point you're willing to spend, and things of that nature, right? Once we get all that dialed in, we begin the showing process. Now, as we start viewing homes, and remember, we're not viewing homes until we have that representation agreement signed, then we would start the offer process, which placing an offer is one of the easiest things to do. I know people tend to overstress it. However, when you have a good agent that can really narrow down what you're signing and everything that goes within the offer, from earnest money, which is like the down payment slash promise ring that you get back, pending how you and the lender decide to use that down payment money, whether you want it back at closing or if you distribute it towards something at the closing table, or just inspection periods and closing dates, right? Typically closings, if you're coming in cash offers, you can make happen within 7 days. If you're going to get a loan, depending on the type of loan, it can take anywhere between 14 to 45 days. If you want to have an extended period, then you could potentially do 45 to 60 days as well. So really just depends on what your situation is, how fast you want to move, and what areas you want to pick out and things of that nature, right? Now, once we get that offer accepted, the next step is going to be the inspection contingency. What that means is we're going to recommend an inspector for you to use so you can have a home inspection done and make sure that it is up to par with what you are expecting in a home. Now, if there's repairs that need to be made, we're going to enter another negotiation phase, but you're not married to the home yet. You can still back out as long as it doesn't live up to what you guys are looking for, or if they're not willing to repair it, or if they're not willing to offer compensation in the amount that makes sense for you to continue to move forward. After the inspection period, you have your appraisal. Now, appraisal, you have a certified appraiser come out, look at the home, assess it, make sure it is up to the standards of whatever loan it is, or if you're getting a cash offer, you don't necessarily need one unless you would like one. But just making sure that the home is, one, making sure that you're not paying more than the home is worth, and two, making sure that it is up to the standard of whatever route you are going. And then once you have the appraisal, then we're going to enter that final walkthrough process, which the final walkthrough can take place up to 3 days before closing. But typically I like to do it the morning of closing, so that way we know exactly what to expect when we're walking the property and getting ready to sign papers, to make sure that there's no fire that happened, there's no crazy windstorm that hit it, nothing abnormal hit. The home is still in good condition, and you know exactly what you're signing for once we get to the closing table. So with that being said, that following step will be finally closing and celebrating, and we're going to give you one of our custom wine bottles that we give to all of our clients to celebrate, and we are going to wish you well from there and make sure that you guys absolutely love your home. And as it comes time to upgrade or move on to that next chapter, we'll always be in touch and just a call away, right? So that's kind of the process for those of you that may have not purchased a home yet. Like I said, the best thing to do is going to be reaching out to us, setting up a consultation so we can really dial in what you need to be doing, what your current situation is, where areas we should be looking at, and then from there we'll make sure that you guys are in good hands and take it from there. So with that being said, guys, I know we kind of talked a lot about what the buying process looks like, what areas you may want to look into, and there's probably 1,000 more questions you may have about buying a home in Boise. But with that being said, there's so many different things that you guys should know outside of what we covered already. For example, some things that we may have left off is there's a homeowner's exemption when you purchase a home that allows you to get a tax break on the actual property taxes for the home, and utilities and water, things of that nature, are also significantly lower in Idaho compared to other states across the nation. So there's just a lot of things that we didn't go into, but this is why we have those initial consultations and make sure that we really dial it in. So with that being said, if you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the bell above so you can get notified when we drop more amazing videos just like this. And outside of that, guys, I'm excited to help you as you get ready to relocate. I will see you guys on the next video. Deuces.